Happy weekend from the bush. It is a pleasant day here. The sun is shining. Birds are out and making their beautiful sounds. Today, it's all about the Jamaican coal fire baking. And I'm going to bake Jamaican hard dough bread. So you guys want to know how to bake on the Jamaican coal fire? Well, today, Abby's here to save the day. And the truth be told, baking on the Jamaican coal fire is not hard. But for a beginner or a first time, it's going to be a wild experience. You may burn the things. It may not come out good. But guess what? Every baking is a lesson to improve the next session. I am going to show you a list of ingredients that I'm going to use to make my Jamaican hard dough bread. And also, I'm going to show you the different type of ways I use it on the coal fire, because you know me, several times I said that I have a oven. However, it spit fire like dragon. So you know, say no one over like that, guys, the bread now go come out good, because you need a proper ventilation, circulation of the heat. Alright, so I'm going to switch to my ingredients and get the bread risen. Then we can go to the next section of putting it on the coal fire. The things I'm not set up yet, but we are going. Alright guys, I'm not going to use my hand to knead the bread, because you know, say arthritis be acting up. So I have my cousin heart mixing bowl that is using the stand mixer right here. I am going to add the ingredients inside of it and pop that on my stand mixer. However, so many of you guys have been asking about what type of bread flour do you use. If you're overseas, you can find tons of different bread flour, which is this one, or you can find gold medal, different type. However, I'm going to teach you something about bread flour later down. So I get this lovely bag of bread flour from one of my subscribers that came from the US. Thank you so much. And then if you're in Jamaica, I spot this couple weeks ago in Shoppers Fair Progressive, and I bought this. This is very reasonable and it gives good result. This can be used for your pasta and your bread. If your pasta now come out good, try use bread flour. This is milled in Jamaica. It's not grown in Jamaica, but it's a local brand, Gold Seal bread flour. I heard that ton people have bread flour very regular. So today I'll be using salt inside of my bread, 100% cow's milk. I'm about to be hiding back at this. I'm going to use 100% pasteurized grass-fed cow butter, peas, and white granulated sugar. So many of you guys have been asking how Abby Faith learned to cook. The truth be told, one of the part of it is traditional. So you grow up and you see people are cook. The next thing, I am an A-level student from my school in food and nutrition. While everybody else I choose what subject they want, I choose nutrition, and I graduated in CSEC with knowledge A. So me taking a book. However, the next part now, pan the coal fire, guys, it's all inspired by the Holy Spirit. I was just talking to God and I said, God, you know, someone wants some cocoa bread to eat, and every time I put it in my oven, my bread so out dry like, I said, God, what should I do? And he just give me the inspiration, guys. Some things that I bake pan the coal fire, after me done, me say, but no God this. So it's all inspired by the Holy Spirit. And he said, you have not because you ask not. Next step in getting good bread, and this is very critical, I'm going to teach you something about high gluten protein flour. Alright, I've been learning about this from high school, guys. Gluten is a protein that is formed in flour. So if you want good quality bread, just look up on your protein content. You see this one is 4 grams. So it depends, depends on the type of bread I'm baking. Maybe I want to add more protein back to the bread. So the protein here, and this is also called gluten. On this one that is made in Jamaica, the same protein gram for it, 4 grams. So what gluten does is help the bread to stretch and rise. So you don't have that big, we call it dumpling or festival type of bread. The bread going rise, soft and fluffy. Right. So I'm going to teach you something, guys. About this bag of premium Vital Wheat Gluten. It is Anthony's non-GMO from Amazon. This is what I use to add back to my bread. I'm going to state this as an interjection, guys. I'm not allergic to gluten. I'm not following what the mainstream media say I bake how God intended it out to bake. A lot of people, when them say them gluten intolerant, they come down to Jamaica and they eat the bread down here. Juicy beef, a cocoa bread, or Mother's, any one of those places. Most times they add gluten to their bread and we eat it and we don't have no problem. So it's all the mainstream media. I've been using gluten for years inside of my bread and never have no gluten intolerant, because I found out that it's not gluten doing all that damage there. It's all that chemical they spraying on the wheat. And the next thing that they have was telling us, I gotta teach you this, guys, because you have to look out when you're making bread. The next thing that they told us, guys, is not to eat gluten because it is toxic. However, look at the bag, it is enriched flour. Enriched flour is not one of the best flour, guys, because what they do is strip the natural germ and the gluten from it, and they give you all these synthetic type of thing inside of it for you to eat. And they tell you, say, gluten is bad, where God making it, but this is good. When I'm making Jamaican alder bread, typically I don't add no gluten to it. But if a thing like cocoa bread, you want it fluffy, I had gluten to it. And how I make this type of high protein bread flour, every 1 cup of bread flour, I had 1 tablespoon of Vital Wheat Gluten to it. And I just made my baking easy because this is a God-given element to the flour, because God didn't know say somewhere we go want bread. For your bread and your water shall be sure. So I make different varieties of flour that you can use bake bread. And people back then yam how much gluten bread, guys, and they did not sick. So tell me now, you know why so many of us have so much allergy? It's not the God-given element inside of it. It's what they decided to add or strip from it. Think about that. So alright, so if I'm making cocoa bread, want it fluffy, there I add Vital Wheat Gluten to make it puff up fluffy. Outdoor bread now, we need that type of firm bread there. So we're going to make Jamaican outdoor bread on the coal fire, and this is one of the skillest baking. And if you're baking on your gas stove, you can bake by the coal fire, so you don't worry about, oh, am I going to burn it? Enough things me burn before me perfect it. So you're going to have failure to winner. Now you know that there's different types of flour: bread flour, counter flour, all-purpose flour, whole wheat flour, and the best one to bake bread is bread flour, because it brings up, it does elevate the bread on a whole nother level. If you use a regular shell flour that is sold in Jamaica, you may not get the best bread. So look for this type of flour that is sold in Jamaica, which is the gold seal bread flour. And every time you bake bread, it is a lesson to try again. Today we're going to bake the Jamaican outdoor bread, and now you have an idea more about bread baking, and know that gluten is a natural protein that God formed in the flour. And know so we're going to want bread to eat. Alright, let's get baking Jamaican outdoor bread. I'm excited to show you this one. This is a full detailed video, guys. Everything will be leaving in the video description, guys, so you can check the video description and pin in the comment under my name, Abby Faith. Just click on the comment and you're going to see what I use in today's bread baking. This is the flour that we sell in Jamaica, the regular flour you can get a shop and stuff like that. This is not the best flour for baking bread, guys. You can use it, but it's not going to give you the best result. If you can't find the gold seal bread flour, you can use the gold seal all-purpose flour, guys. The protein content is a bit lower, which is 3 grams right here. This one is higher quality than this flour. You need high quality flour to bake high quality bread. This one good for dumpling and them cartwheel and them stuff there, but it is not good for bread baking. Okay, you can use it, but the best result come from the best flour. Today I'm going to use the Pillsbury and see how best that works in Javi's kitchen. I have 1 teaspoon of salt in my mixing bowl. Warm milk to the touch of your finger, so you just can tip your finger in there and feel how warm it is. I'm baking for my family, guys, so I use my hand. Now it's time to add our sugar inside of our warm milk. Give that a mix. Followed by my melted butter. I'm using 100% butter here. A splash of nutmeg powder in our Jamaican hard dough bread is the key to getting that nice. Just a pinch of it. Now I'm going little by little with my bread flour. And you don't want to throw everything inside. Mix and incorporate it. And while I add about 2 cups of the bread flour, which is half of the mixture, I'm going to go ahead with my instant yeast. Instant yeast means it rise instantly. You don't need to proof it. Now it's time to dump in the yeast. Don't like dump it in the warm milk same time. It is coming together, guys. I'm going to pop this in my stand mixer and let the mixer do its work. If you don't have a stand mixer, use your hand and knead it on a surface until it comes together, and let that do the rest of the magic. And we are going to proof it for 30 minutes to an hour until it is doubled in size, and then we're going to put it in our can or bread can, proof it again. So this is it. I'm going to place it in my stand mixer. If you have a stand mixer like mine, which is a Cuisinart, it comes with a bread hook. So I'm just going to put it inside of it and it just going to spin it. This is what hook the dough and do the work instead of your hand, because the arthritis be acted up. This is my bread batter after I place it in the stand mixer. So it just bring it together. And again, if you don't have the stand mixer, you can use your hand. What I'm going to do now, get a plastic bag, put over it with a little coconut oil on top so it don't stick on it. I'm just bringing it together, guys. And I'm going to let this proof. Yes, it start rising already in a guy, instant ease. Start rising. Just a little coconut oil, guys. Not too much. Now rub it together. This is going to trap the heat so the bread rise good. It won't dry out when it is rising. So this is what it's looking like. I'm going to let that proof under the Jamaican sun because the place hot. And going to wait until it doubles in size. And I'm going to add it to my Pyrex bowl. And yes, Pyrex bowl, Jamaican Pyrex bowl is made for baking. Not for a local salad and this and that. This is our old type people used to bake with cast iron and those stuff that is non-toxic compared to the foil cans that we're using nowadays, which is very toxic. So I'm going to put it inside of this, and yes, this can last on a cold fire without breaking. Yes, man. This is what the bread look like after it has risen. I'm going to inflate the dough. Get a little bread flour. Inflate the dough and place them inside of my can. This gives 2 loaves of bread. Remove the plastic to see a plastic clean. I'm going to inflate it and shape the dough. But first I'm going to grease the can. Put some butter inside of it. Alright guys, it's time to start forming the Jamaican hard dough bread. Once you separate it, guys, I want to flat it out and start rolling it. I'm gonna allow this to rise again. and prepare this one for this can. That same bag that we use to proof the bread, I'm going to split it in two and proof the bread again. So I'm going to cover this one, let that rise, and then I'm going to cover this one again. Yes. They are going to rise again and double in size, and then it's time to bake. So I'm going to go and set up the Jamaican coal fire while this is rising. The bread are proofing like wildfire, guys. Could I? Because the place hot. Jamaican hard dough bread. Gonna catch up the coal fire now. Guys, I'm going to use what I have until my neighbor carry the rest of coal come. I don't need this bread to start baking like right now. So I'm just catch you up just like the regular way, or you catch a Jamaican coal fire, placing the coal inside of it and light it with a plastic bag candle or some dry coconut husk. And then once we're ready for bake, I take out the coal with a spoon and flip it on top of it. That is what we're gonna do. See how fast our bread is proofing. I'm gonna place it inside of my magical baking pot, guys. And the reason why I'm going to use this on top of it, guys, the bread is going to rise again. The bread is going to rise again. So I can't use a regular place. My little piece of pan or frying pan over the top, it's going to look something like this. So when the bread rise again, it have enough space to stretch up. My coal fire is blazing. I'm going to place my bread inside of the pot and transfer the coal fire on top of the pot. Less fire below, the more fire on top of it. So if you can't manage fire, start with a little bit of fire first. Don't blaze up the coal fire high. Anyways, we're going to get that inside of the pot now. Your fire is blazing. My first bread will go in now. Take off the bag off at the top. And this is Jamaican hard dough bread. I like to place it halfway inside of the pot, guys, halfway risen, so it do the rest of the work. And I'm going to show you why I'm not using my other pot cover. Pot cover, like 2 inches below, guys, and the bread burn. So if I use this pot cover, the bread don't burn. That is why I'm using this Easter pan pot cover to cover it like this, so it have enough space inside to stretch and rise and do its thing. Okay? I'm going to place the fire on top of this right now and put it back over there. I like to place it on my grill too. I like to place it on my grill, guys, just to move easier, lift it up with the fire easier like that. I'm going to place on the fire on top of it now. The fire going to slow rise it also, because it's going to rise again. And I want to rise. Remove the majority of fire on the top, guys. If you don't use it, you can left like maybe 3 big pieces of coal on the bottom and mash it out. This is how it is looking, guys, on top of the bread pan. I'm going to put more coal on it, less fire below. I'm going to video and show you what I leave inside of the coal stove over there. So this is how it is look. More fire transfer to the top of it. And if you're baking bread, anything was stretched up like banana bread, anything like that, you're going to need enough space on the top of the pot. Because if it rise, it's going to burn. Once it stick to the top, it's going to burn. And the cook, me no mind sharp, me not have to preheat the pot, because the heat is going to help stretch the bread again inside of the pot, give it that rise. So I'm going to put it on the coal fire now and it's ready to bake. This is what I leave inside of the coal stove. Just a little to nothing. Just this little to nothing, guys. This is going to help to circulate the heat inside of the pot. You don't need whole heap of coal underneath your pot. So let's transfer this pot on the coal fire. So we're going to place that on the fire. This is a bit warm, guys. Now it's time to put enough coal on top so our bread don't flop. If you can't manage high fire, take it slow. Bake things like pudding first and toto, and then you can venture out into bread on the coal fire. Just gonna tap it on the top and we're gonna check in on it. This is it, guys. It's baking. More fire on the top, little to no fire below. That is circulating the heat. And if you don't know how to control your fire, start with little fire first and don't bake bread first. Bake something else until you start gradually have these skills come to life. So lift and check on the bread. And the fire has gone down, like I said. It's not pimento wood, so enough that strong. So what I'm doing now is like cracking them. Some of them are going to drop off. You have to move from fire more while. I'm going to put them some tiny pieces around the bread bottom, not too much. And spread out underneath it. Make sure when the fire starts blazing, spread out underneath the coal. Just use and get it up to the sides around here. This is the Jamaican hard dough bread that is baked on the coal fire. So I'm going to put some melted butter over it. This is how I bake on the coal fire Jamaican hard dough bread. Yes, fully risen and so beautiful. So this is it, guys. Baking Jamaican hard dough bread on the coal fire, and all I did was elevate the top, more fire on top, little to no fire at the bottom, and you just bake it just like when you're using your gas stove. You know what you're looking out for. Same thing with the coal fire. Like I said, the different types of coal give you more fire, so you don't really want to crank up the fire up on the top and burn up the things. I'm going to carefully remove the hard dough bread because it's hot and it's in a heavy Pyrex dish. Wish me luck. Let me try to remove it, guys. Ooh, super hot. This is it. Jamaican hard dough bread. Bake on the coal fire. Guys, I'm not sure what we're going to eat this with. Maybe some porridge or something. I have a smaller one baking. So, yes, very soft. I'm going to let it rest. Let your bread rest before you take it out and start eat it. I'm going to let it rest. Now you have a bit more idea of how I bake on the Jamaican coal fire. I'm going to create so much more video coming up so that you can master your coal fire skill. And I just have that same feeling. You know when your granny seasons the meat, or she put some water upon the rice and she knows that the rice now will come out bad. It will come out good. That is the same feeling I get from the coal fire. I know say yes, this is the level of coal I want on the top. I don't want to crank it up and I don't want to burn up nothing. The less fire I have below it is the less the bread going to burn and become raw inside. More fire on the top of it and less fire below, and your baking is going to come out perfectly. I'm going to eat a smaller one and let this one rest. And we're going to eat Jamaican hard dough bread right on the outside, maybe with some garlic butter or something. This one is going to be another video. Maybe me eat it with some porridge or something. Yes man, hard dough bread and porridge tastes good. Here are my two lovely, soft Jamaican hard dough bread. I'm going to eat the smaller one, let the bigger one rest. Adding some Kerrygold garlic and herb butter on the top, and we're gonna enjoy this one on the outside. Add the butter over the top, not too much, as again it's garlic and herb. This one is super soft. Look at that, guys. I'm just gonna rub it over the top. Guys, I'm going to try flip it out. Super hot and soft. Alright, so this is the mini loaf that I get from the batch of bread. Yeah, I'm gonna test it. It's not my first time baking it, so I know what to expect from it. Now, and I'm gonna call this the garlic and herb hard dough bread. We could have cut the bread now, guys, but nowadays we not cut no bread. Again, for the best results, let the bread rest. The next thing is different type of coal spit more fire or just stronger. Pimento wood and dogwood. Coal, especially when the coal is burned green, it give you more fire. So you don't really want full up with top it like what you see me do right here. So these coals are pretty light. Like when you ever burn them, but them lighter than pimento wood. So you can't put as much pan because it's not going to bring forth that heat. That is why I pack it up so. But if you're using pimento wood coal, guys, don't crank up the fire. And again, remember, say anything that rises, you need enough space inside of the pot. If it's things like cocoa bread or look flat down, we can use my flat pot cover. And you need enough space with total banana bread, hard dough bread and stuff like that to bake on the coal fire. So the more space you have, the more the heat can circulate in the pot. So that is what we're going to do here. We're going to check in pan it in a few. And remember, say if you don't use the coal fire, don't crank up the fire. Start little by little. Start with pudding, then eventually out into total, then eventually out into banana bread, then eventually out into bread. Okay, if you can bake banana bread skillful on the coal fire, you can bake bread. And this is how I bake Jamaican hard dough bread, soft and fluffy on the Jamaican coal fire using bread flour. I just elevate the top with this so it doesn't burn before it bakes. You don't really want it burns before it bakes. If you don't use the coal fire, take your time and bake. Nobody crank up the fire eye like me. I know what I'm looking for. Yes. Look at that, guys. Fluffy to the max. Very soft and fluffy Jamaican hard dough bread. Look at that. This one shall devour in minutes. And I place some garlic and herb butter over the top to give it that signature wow look. I hope this video was useful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching from the hills of northern Jamaica. I'm your girl F.A.M, and I am a coal fire baker. See you in my next upcoming videos, and don't forget to like this video, comment and tell me what you like to eat hard dough bread with. Share this video. If you use TikTok, you can share it over TikTok or such. On your WhatsApp, just tell a friend to tell a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome video in the hills of St. Anne. See you next time, and Happy New Week.